Hey everyone, welcome back to Living Empowered today. Um, Welcome to Reframing Your Mind. It's a series designed to help level 1 autistic adults understand and shift their cognitive distortions. I'm Susan Peters Chesley, your ASD Master Coach, growing in self acceptance of my own ASD traits just like you. So, in this series, we're exploring what cognitive distortions are, how they developed, and their impact on our daily lives. If you've ever struggled with negative thought patterns, you're not alone. So let's dive into the topics of the series and start the journey. So, this is the series episode list and topics that we'll be discussing throughout the series. So, let's start by briefly learning about cognitive distortions, what they are, how they develop, and their impact on our lives. So today is the introduction to cognitive distortions. And it's just going to be a little ditty on briefly covering that. The next topic is all or nothing thinking, recognizing and shifting extreme thought patterns. Overgeneralization is avoiding broad assumptions from singular experiences, such as using the words always, never. I always get it wrong. I mean, if you've only gotten it wrong once, that doesn't mean you're going to get it wrong every time. That's when you overgeneralize. Catastrophizing, managing worst case scenario thinking, always thinking the worst thing, never anything that's positive going to come out of it. We all do that at some point. Some of us, especially those who are neurodivergent, we kind of fall into catastrophizing on the regular. The next is mind reading and assumptions, understanding social misinterpretation and how to reframe it. Mind reading and assumptions is assuming what other people are thinking, such as if a person uh, looks a certain way when we're talking and they're responding, we are going to say, "Oh my God, they must be thinking this. They must be thinking that." Especially if you think you've been ghosted, maybe something happened to that person, but you're going to assume the worst. The next one is should statements and perfectionism. Letting go of rigid expectations is the goal behind learning about this. I should be able to do this. I should be able to go to the store by myself, but driving is just too hard for me. Perfectionism is, oh God, this video is never good enough. I'm going to keep doing it over and over and over again until I feel that it's perfect enough to present, because nobody's going to want to watch my video if it's not perfect. Let me tell you, I've fallen into this really bad. And just like you just heard that sound in the background, I am not going to go and wipe that out. It just happens. So letting go of perfectionism is a really big thing with us. The next one is filtering out the positive. So that means learning to acknowledge and accept positive experiences. When we filter out the positive, we only concentrate on the negative things that have happened during that experience. We don't even discuss the positive things that have come out, that we totally ignore it. So our mind is always harping on what's wrong. That's what that is. The next one is personalization and self-blame. That means differentiating personal responsibility from misplaced blame. Blaming ourselves for everything, even if it wasn't our fault, Say you're late and you're sitting in traffic. And so what you're going to do is first blame yourself for not getting up early. Blame yourself for maybe staying up too late last night. While those things actually do contribute to you being late for work, you can't control the traffic. What if the traffic has been like that all day? So, we blame ourselves and it's misplaced on a lot of different situations. Emotional reasoning. That's recognizing when emotions distort your reality. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, is something that we do. Our emotions can really just take us to places that we don't want to go. And we will discuss how to work on that. Reframing and self-compassion. Now, those are practical strategies for shifting thought patterns and self-acceptance of who we are. And this is something that we'll probably do in each episode. You will have a sheet to download pertaining to each episode, excuse me, so you can practice these steps, because it's not going to just, happen overnight. These are some things that you will need to practice, and, it's okay. So let's talk about cognitive distortions. Cognitive distortions are patterns of negative thinking that reinforce your unhelpful beliefs. They are automatic and they often are exaggerated ways of interpreting events, leading to stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. These distortions can develop from past experiences, societal expectations, and even our unique ways of processing the world as autistic individuals. Say, for this example on here, I'm terrible at my job. Well, this is a distortion because one mistake does not define your entire work performance. So that is a cognitive distortion that is untrue. And just so you know, every human, neurotypical or neurodiverse, has many cognitive distortions. And they are a normal part of the human condition. For instance, let's say you made a small mistake at work. Again, like I just repeated here. This is a distortion because no one mistake, defines like I said, your entire work performance. So this isn't true. Now, the challenges and the impact of cognitive distortions can shape how we view ourselves and interact with others. They can lead to perfectionism, social anxiety, and self-sabotage. We know that one very well. For level 1 autistic adults, these thought patterns may also be intensified by difficulties in social interpretation and sensory processing. So recognizing these distortions is the first step towards breaking free from them. Cognitive distortions can shape how we view ourselves and interact with others. Reframing and strategies. So one way to challenge cognitive distortions is through cognitive behavioral therapy, also known as CBT, techniques. And that's what I'm trained in. A simple strategy is thought challenging. So when you catch yourself thinking in extremes, ask these few questions. Is this thought 100% true? What evidence supports or contradicts it? And another tool that's helpful while you're doing these strategies is journaling. So writing down your thoughts and examine if they're aligned with reality, is really a necessary step you need to take. And over time, you can train your mind to adopt a more balanced perspective. So asking yourself these questions is important. And what I've also done is there's going to be a link um, in the description or the comments that will help you to download a free worksheet resource for this specific one, as I mentioned in the beginning. So cognitive distortions don't define you. You have the power to reframe your thoughts and cultivate self-compassion. This is very important because remember, every human being who has ever existed, exists today, or ever will exist has these biased thinking processes. We are born with them. They come with the makeup of the process of birth. So stop beating yourself up thinking you're flawed because you are just being human, exactly how you were created. But with these steps, we can reframe our mind. Um, I grew up as a biblical scholar, and there's a passage in there that says, by the renewing of your mind. And that's exactly what this is. This is the renewing of your mind. You cannot renew your mind without first understanding what needs to be changed. And when you understand what needs to be changed, you need the right steps and the right tools to help you do that. It's just not going to pop up one day. You're not just going to wake up one day and your mind is renewed. You have to work at it because, again, as I said, we're born with these. So this is the process of unlearning the negativity that we were born with and that was in our surroundings or in society that we were taught. So in the next episode, we'll explore all or nothing thinking and how you too can find that middle ground of thought. So let me know in the comments how you're managing with your thought processes right now before you start. Let me know. Does this resonate with you? Do you tend to have some of these biases that we mentioned in here? And how are you managing your daily thoughts? And what's been helping you if you have been catching yourself being negative and allowing it to overtake your life? What have you been doing? Share that in your comments because we all kind of want to know where you're at. And your thoughts and your comments could be helping another person come out of their shell and share too, because this is scary for us, all right? Those of us who are neurodiverse, we putting ourselves out here like I'm doing right now is very scary. We don't want people to make fun of us because, people call other people names like, crazy, special, twisted, touched. Those are some of the things that I'm asking you today to catch yourself saying because it's hurtful to other people. And you don't know who's in the room or in the comment section. They may be a level 1 or a level 2 autistic. So let's support each other through this step. And again, if you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're on Fanbase, hearts are always appreciated. Together we will find our way forward in community. So take care and remember that you are never alone. Aloha.